हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम जय श्री प्रभुपाद जी गुरु महाराज।
प्रभु जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम जय श्री प्रभुपाद गुरु महाराज।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम और गुरु श्री शिला प्रभुपाद एंड गुरुदेव।
धन्यवाद प्रणाम नंदिनी माता जी और गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद एंड गुरुदेव। I think we can begin now.
जय प्रभु।
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्यनामिने गौरातिशे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टा प्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। So we are resuming our discussion on the third canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam. The conversation, this is the last chapter on the conversation between Uddhava and Vidura Vidura. The first chapter describes the end of second chapter is question asked about when there was the whole creation was going on, Sarga and Visarga and um, Brahma describing to Narada about the essence of Bhagavat that Brahmaji heard from Narayan and the 10 main topics of Bhagavatam, which includes the primary and secondary creation. As that topic was discussed, then Sonaka Rishi developed a desire that he want to hear about. Now Vidura, you said earlier, very early in third canto, you said Vidura left. So tell me about his pilgrimage. Where all did he go? Whom all did he meet? How did he maintain himself? Then this beginning begins with Vidura's travel. Where all did he go? To Pravas, to holy places, came back finally to Vrindavan on the bank of Yamuna, and then there is a meeting of Uddhava. And Vidura asked many questions to Uddhava. My dear sir, please tell me about Lord Krishna, about the Yadavas, about the Pandavas, and about um, all the sons, grandsons, Balaram, Ugrasena, Devaki and Vasudeva, and everybody else, Pradyumna, Samba, everybody else. Vidura, uh, Uddhava first went into trance for one muhurta, 48 minutes. He became, he closed his eyes and he became so deeply absorbed in the lotus feet of Krishna. And his bodily symptoms showed that as time was passing by in this 48 minutes, his bodily symptoms became more and more intense, or his meditation on the lotus feet of the Lord became more and more intense. And this is because Uddhava was feeling acute pain because of the separation from Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna has departed. But Uddhava gained the strength, and then um, he opened his eyes, and then he started describing about Krishna. And basically, Uddhava is speaking everything about Krishna. He discussed about Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, uh, Krishna killing Putana and delivered her, mm, Krishna delivering all the demons, Krishna killing Kaliya, Krishna dancing with the gopis, Krishna playing and taking lunch with the cowherd boys, um, Krishna being bound by Mother Yashoda, and starting from Krishna lifting Govardhan Hill, um, starting from beginning from Krishna's appearance, um, all the way till he left Vrindavan, till the last time, um, till the end of his Vrindavan pastime was covered in the previous chapter. And the essence was um, Uddhava is telling, how can I take shelter of somebody who is there who is more merciful than Krishna? How can I take shelter of anybody other than Krishna, who even at the slight service rendered by Putana, not even service, who wanted to kill Krishna, and he gave him the position of mother, who can be more merciful. Kamva dayalum sharanam rajema, can be more merciful. Who by shelter can I take? And then he also mentioned, just to relate to the Dwarka pastimes is today. Mathura and Dwarka. We'll discuss all the Mathura and Dwarka pastimes today, whatever is discussed in the third chapter. He also brings one aspect from the Dwarka pastime is um, the soldiers fighting in the Kurukshetra Mahabharat war all attained the abode of the Lord because they were attracted by the beauty of Krishna and they were thinking of Krishna while leaving their bodies. Uddhava also describes the attractive beauty of Krishna and the bewildering potency of the beauty of Krishna. Anybody who saw Krishna will become bewildered and cannot focus on their household activities also. So now this begins with um, Krishna in order to please Devaki and Vasudeva. Krishna went to Mathura. And then after going to Mathura, Krishna killed Kamsa. And after killing Kamsa, Krishna dragged the body of Kamsa from the wrestling arena all the way to Vishram Ghat. It is maybe around a kilometer from um, the wrestling arena to Vishram Ghat. And Krishna himself dragged the body of Kamsa. And Bhagavatam mentions the reason Krishna dragged the body of Kamsa is to reassure everybody that Kamsa is dead. Because people had such fear of Kamsa, and Kamsa has so many mystical powers. Um, like imagine you kill somebody and then he dies and then he comes back to life. So Kamsa has so many mystical powers. Otherwise, how was it possible for Kamsa to keep uh, you know, mystical demons like Aghasura, Putana, Trinavarta under his control? Because Kamsa was very powerful and nobody could defeat Kamsa. And that's why even Jarasandha was one of the most powerful soldiers. He was the king also. And Jarasandha also was so, like it is said that there was a fight between Kamsa and Jarasandha. And Kamsa was very young compared to Jarasandha. Jarasandha was an old man. Jarasandha's daughter was of similar age as Kamsa. And Jarasandha had this benediction that he had like, if his body is torn into a part, he will come back together. So Jarasandha was very powerful. And when Jarasandha fought with Kamsa, even he could not defeat Kamsa. So he wanted to make his, Jarasandha wanted to make his side more powerful. So he made an alliance with Kamsa by making Kamsa his damad. So he handed over his two daughters to Kamsa in marriage. So now they both are together, and um, under them there's a huge military phalanxes, military soldiers under them, under Jarasandha, under Kamsa. And the earth was trembling in fear because of the strength of this opposing this evil forces. Kamsa was very powerful, and even when after Krishna killed Kamsa, people were not having this faith that actually Kamsa could die, or even if he's dragged, he may just come up all of a sudden. So Krishna, in order to give everybody faith that Kamsa is dead, he dragged the body of Kamsa from the wrestling arena to Vishram Ghat on the bank of Yamuna. And when Krishna brought him there, then Krishna himself performed the last rite of Kamsa. And when they saw that Kamsa body is turned into ashes, then people of Mathura, they lost faith that Kamsa is actually dead. Then they wanted to make Krishna the the king, but then Krishna refused, and Krishna made Ugrasena the king of Mathura, because previously actually Ugrasena was the king, but Ugrasena's son Kamsa, he became the king by force, and he put his own father Ugrasena into the jail, into the prison, along with his sister Devaki and her husband Vasudeva. So when all the residents wanted Krishna to become the king, Krishna established Ugrasena as the king. Bhagavatam describes, previous chapter we were discussing, Bhagavatam describes Uddhava is telling that my heart pains when the Supreme Personality of Godhead has to report to Ugrasena about the happenings of the previous day, or his plans or his requests, and he would say, Your Holiness. So Uddhava says, when I would see Krishna doing that my heart would pain. And then after killing Kamsa, then Vasudev, he sent Krishna and Balaram to Ujjain. And Ujjain, Krishna studied 64 days in the ashram of Sandipani Muni. And in those 64 days, Krishna learned 64 arts. It takes more than 13 years to even get a grasp or a feeling of those 64 arts. They are so complex. But Krishna just learned one art each day. And just he heard it once, and then he knows everything. Krishna, it is said that Krishna learned all the Vedas and all the Angas of Vedas, the 6 Angas, everything just by hearing it once from Sandipani Muni. And when Krishna told Sandipani Muni that I think I should go in 60 days, Sandipani Muni was surprised. So then Sandipani Muni requested Krishna and Balaram to exhibit what they have learned. And Sandipani Muni himself was sitting as a judge, and there were so many other very elderly students and all the other teachers, and everybody was there. And when Krishna described, it was way more than what he learned. So in 64 days only, Sandipani Muni said, like, you have graduated from the ashram because you are the Supreme Lord himself. And then Sandipani Muni and his wife were very sad. Actually, his wife, Sandipani Muni's wife. Then she asked Sandipani Muni, his wife told Sandipani Muni that Guru Dakshina, Lord Krishna said. So Sandipani Muni said, I don't want to take any Guru Dakshina from Krishna. Then his wife was crying. Then Sandipani Muni asked, what Guru Dakshina are you looking for? Then his wife said, I want my sons back. And she broke into tears. And Sandipani, because she knew who Krishna is, and she knew that Krishna can do it. Otherwise, this is not possible. So she thought of taking advantage of, the Lord himself has come as a student under Sandipani Muni, and the student is supposed to give Guru Dakshina, whatever Guru wants. So Sandipani Muni, with like, he was hesitant to ask Krishna, but at the same time, he was bound by the affection of his wife, who has served him for the whole life. And she was very sorrowful because her children have died long back. So Sandipani Muni, Krishna saw Sandipani Muni sad. Then Sandipani Muni expressed that, Krishna, there is nothing that we can ask from you. You have come to our ashram itself is our greatest honor. But if you so desire, you can please retrieve the sons, my and my wife's sons. Then Krishna paid his obeisances to Sandipani Muni. Then Krishna says, all right. Then Krishna went to Yamalok. Bhagavatam says Yamalok. And Yamaraj received him with worship through heavenly paraphernalia. And then Yamaraj, naturally Yamaraj is a pure devotee of the Lord. So Yamaraj, Krishna, how can I be of some service? Then Krishna said, I want the son of Sandipani Muni back. So they were actually in Yamalok. Very interesting. Why they went to Yamalok, we don't know. But like devotees never go to Yamalok. But somehow Krishna's arrangement was such that they were in Yamalok. So Krishna took the son, the one son actually, dead son. So Krishna brought him back and offered it to Sandipani Muni and his wife. And that's how Krishna glories will keep on growing gradually from, like, since Krishna glory in Dwarka, very glorious, started with killing of Kamsa, and then learning 64 art in 64 days, and then bringing the dead son of Sandipani Muni from Yamalok. And then some time passed by. Some time means then Krishna alone defeated Jarasandha 14 times and killed all the military phalanx. Jarasandha was captured. Jarasandha was so powerful that any king Jarasandha would call, you come, you come from different states. Even that time, obviously, America was not there, but Europe was there. Even from the Europe kings and everywhere, Jarasandha was so powerful that nobody can say no. If any king say no, then they have to receive death from Jarasandha. So, and there were a lot of evil forces. So Jarasandha did a lot of service to Krishna because Jarasandha was very angry, very envious. And the reason of his envy was Jarasandha's daughter became widow. obviously father will be very angry. So Jarasandha wanted to kill Krishna. So Jarasandha offered the fight. It is said that every um, like Mahabharat battle was 18 Akshohinis. One Akshohini is like 65,000 elephants, and maybe I think 4 times that is the Rath, and then there are so many Atirathis, so many Maharathis, and so many millions of soldiers. So that all is like one Akshohini. And 18 Akshohini fought in Mahabharat war, including both the parties. And Jarasandha would bring each time uh, to fight with Krishna the forces more than the Mahabharata, more than 18 Akshohinis. So huge military phalanx Jarasandha will bring, and he would gather, and it would take Jarasandha 1 year to subdue the king and challenge them and defeat them and get the king and the army and the next and next and create a huge army of more than 18 Akshohinis. And then he would, without a notice, he would um, attack Mathura. And Krishna wanted to protect the residents of Mathura. So Krishna knows everything. So Krishna would tell Ugrasena Maharaj that, Your Holiness, there is an attack by Jarasandha. It will be wise if we take care of uh, um, this battle outside of Mathura so that our citizens are not harmed. And then Ugrasena Maharaj would say, You take our force, but what is Mathura force? Very small force compared to what Jarasandha would gather. Huge army Jarasandha would gather. So Krishna would go actually alone. And um, later on, one time he went with his force for fun. But actually, Krishna would go alone and he would fight with 18,000 Akshohinis and kill them and leave Jarasandha alone because they know Krishna knew Jarasandha is very influential and powerful. And Krishna thought, I'm so busy with my pastimes here. So why go to all these different places, including Europe and all over the um, world to find people and kill them? Let Jarasandha do my work. So Jarasandha became an instrument. So he would leave Jarasandha. Jarasandha was so influential, he would go and gather all, okay, this whole army is like wiped out. What about other army? What about other army? And for I think 17 times actually, 17 or 18 times. Jarasandha will bring the entire, and he would get even more army and a little more and a little more. Um, and Krishna would kill all of them. Every year he would work so hard to serve Krishna actually. And later on, and Jarasandha was so powerful. Later on, Krishna wanted to glorify his devotees. So Krishna made Bhim kill Jarasandha. Krishna did not kill Jarasandha. Krishna killed everybody else. And he was like afraid. Then Krishna says, Go. Then Jarasandha will run away. And then um, uh, then Krishna also went to Krishna went to, what is the name of the army of King Rukmi? What was the place? Anyone remembers? I don't. Anyways, that dynasty, Krishna went to that place and he kidnapped Rukmini. And
Vidarbha.
there it is. Huh? Vidarbha, huh?
Vidarbha.
Yeah,
Vidarbha Queen Rukmini. Yes, I think so.
sounds right, Prabhuji. The kingdom of Vidarbha. So Krishna went there, and there is an example, Bhagavatam. Sukadeva Goswami describes the example of Garud. Actually, one time there is a story behind it where Garud was sent to take the nectar. Garud mother, Garud, and these snakes, they were cousin brothers, and both of their mothers, they were like uh, co-wives of the same husband. And Garud mother was acting as a servant of this other mother. I don't remember the details and the names. Um, so she said, if you bring the nectar from the heaven, then I will release your mother um, from my servitude. And Garud was very unhappy that the mother has to act as a servant um, of the co-wife. So Garud said, yet I will go and bring the nectar from the heaven. So mother said, no, no, it's very risky. My dear son, you should not go. But Garuda was very powerful. Later on, Garuda actually, Lord Vishnu told Garuda in this particular pastime that I want to use you as my personal servant. And then Garuda was honored to become a carrier of Lord Vishnu. He is eternally that, but when he was here, it happened through this particular pastime. So Garud had so much love for his mother that in order to free his mother from the servitude from the co-wife, Garud went to heaven and took the nectar away. And all the devatas, including Indra, were watching. And actually, Indra and devatas and Garud were actually cousin brothers. Anyways, there is some mixing up is there. But
Vinita, her name is Vinita, right?
Vinita,
Vinita, and the other mother name is Kadru.
Kratu.
Kadru.
Yes, Prabhuji, Kratu.
Kratu. So Kratu was the mother of the snakes.
Yes,
Yes.
Garuda's mother was Kratu, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Garuda mother was, and Vinita was the mother of snakes.
No. Vinita is the mother of Garuda. That's why we call Garuda as Vainateya.
Okay. So again, sorry for lack of this clarity in this, but like Bhagavatam says, when Garuda went this um, to the heaven, and he stole the net, and everybody was watching, and Garuda was successful to take it out, to take the nectar away, to free his mother from the servitude. Likewise, Krishna went and Krishna kidnapped Rukmini, and they were very powerful kings, and they all fought. Balaramji defeated them. And Rukmi was the brother of Rukmini. He was like, really like, no, I will teach a lesson. Um, and I think their father name was Bhishmaka, right? Rukmini's father. Yeah, I think so, Bhishmaka. So Bhishmaka told Rukmini that Rukmini is not a good idea to go alone and fight with Krishna. Rukmini said, no, no, I will take care. What does Krishna thinks of himself? I will free my sister. And then he was actually humbled. Rukmi, Rukmi was, uh, um, Rukmi was humbled. Like, I think Krishna cut off his hairs and left some portion and like really humiliated Rukmi. So Rukmi wanted to commit suicide, but then he's like, no, I'll take revenge. That's why he later on he was very angry with Krishna throughout his life, and later on he was killed by Balaram. So they all and Shishupal was there. He fought. Rukmi was there, and very powerful king Jarasandha also came there. And none of them, they were very powerful kings who wanted, because Shishupal Jarasandha also had a tie-up. All these eh, like envious animal-like kings, very powerful. So Krishna came and just like Garuda took the nectar away, and all the heavenly people like this watching and fighting and could not do anything. Like easily Krishna stole Rukmini. So all the basically Uddhava is describing how glorious are the pastimes of Krishna, starting from killing of Kamsa to bringing the dead son of Sandipani Muni, to killing single-handedly all the army of Jarasandha, to kidnapping Rukmini from amongst all this powerful envious kings. And then there was um, a competition of who can, they were like, they're bulls, and it is said that the bull whose nose is pierced very powerful. So there were 7 bulls whose nose were pierced, and those who can defeat those 7 bulls can marry the princess named Naganajiti. So Krishna went, and there were many competitors, and they could not defeat those 7 bulls. And Krishna defeated those 7 bulls and won over the princess Naganajiti. And all the competitors, although they were defeated, still they fought against Krishna because they wanted Naganajiti, who was very beautiful. So Krishna either wounded them or killed them, and then Krishna brought Naganajiti with him. Naturally, Krishna was fighting because first thing is they are all eternal associate of the Lord in Dwarka, and they loved Krishna so much. So Krishna fulfilled their desires. Krishna is like Krishna was like never defeated. Krishna is like, of course, this is Krishna. He's like running the show. Uddhava is describing how glorious are the pastimes of Krishna. Then Krishna had another wife whose name was Satyabhama. Krishna won Satyabhama by fighting with Krishna won Satyabhama. Satyabhama was the daughter of Satyajit. And Satyajit has a Shamantaka jewel, which was actually um, mm, mm, it is a long story. Shamataka jewel was Satyajit gave to his brother Prasena, and his brother was killed, and the jewel was taken by the tiger. And the tiger was defeated by Jambavan, and he took the jewel, and Jambavan gave to his daughter Jambavati for playing. Then Krishna went and defeated Jambavan after 2 months of fierce fighting. Then Jambavan understood that my Lord Ram, because Jambavan had this desire to fight with Lord Ram because Lord Ram was very, very attractive, very powerful. And Jambavan also was one of the most powerful warrior. But because Lord Ram was in the camp of Jambavan, there is no possibility of Jambavan fighting with Ram because they were in the same team. So Jambavan had this desire that I also want to give a fight to Lord Ram, and he loved Lord Ram. He wanted to fight the Lord out of love, like just acha lagega, maza aayega. It's like this is the Lord, and it will be nice. But at the same time, he has surrendered his life to Lord Ram. He was a devotee of Lord Ram, pure devotee of Lord Ram. Still, he wanted to fight. For like Krishna also, when he want to fight, he come and fights with his pure devotees. So when Krishna came, then Jambavan is very powerful. Jambavan like, you are going to fight with me. Krishna says, yes, come, let us fight. And Jambavan is hefty figure also, coming from Treta Yoga. So then they fought, and the fight was very loving actually, fierce and loving. Jambavan kicked Krishna, and Krishna would kick Jambavan. They would punch each other, and they would throw each other, and they would throw boulders at each other, and it was very fearsome fight. And sometimes Krishna would feel like I am tired, then Jamba would feel like I am tired. There's like loving exchange between the Lord and his devotees. And obviously Krishna can in an instant kill anybody, whether it is Hiranyakashipu or whether it is Ravan or whether it is Kamsa. But this is Jambavan, his devotee. So Krishna spent 2 months and they fought against each other. Then Jambavan, then Jambavan thought, this must be my Lord Ram. Otherwise, this is not possible. Nobody can fight with me like this. And the Lord must be playing with me. Then he saw Lord Ram Swarup by Krishna's mercy in front of his eyes, and Jambavan surrendered his life. And Jambavan said, my Lord, tripped, fully satisfied. Just one request. I have a daughter. Um, um, I'm looking for a suitable husband. You have come in this Swarup. If possible, can you please accept my daughter as your bride? Bride. Yeah. Then Jambavati was like love at first sight, fell in love when she saw Krishna. So Krishna brought Jambavati. and he gave the jewel back to Satyajit. And Satyajit was very humbled because Satyajit was blaming that Krishna has stolen Shamantaka jewel. So Satyajit was like, what do I do now? So in order to take that off his head, it is said that Satyabhama was the most beautiful. Satyabhama, she was so beautiful. And she was very little bit proudy also, Satyabhama, because she's expansion of Srimati Radharani. So obviously she has to be most beautiful, and Radharani is also, she has this man swaroop in Srimati Radharani. So her swaroop is her expansion Satyabhama. The first wife was Rukmini. Then there is Jambavati, and then there is Satyabhama. So Satyabhama, so that's how Satyabhama got married to Krishna. And then Satyabhama, she, one time Krishna, in order to please Rukmini, Krishna gave Rukmini a Parijata flower. And Parijata flower is such that if that flower comes to, say, Farmington Hills, every house in Farmington Hills will smell the fragrance of Parijat. That Parijata flower is only in heaven it grows. That real Parijata flower. And it is so fragrant that if Krishna is giving a gift, must has to be very special. So he gave a gift, and that is the favorite tree of Indra's wife because it makes the whole heaven fragrant, and it's very enticing fragrance. So Krishna brought a flower through Narad Muni. He told Narad Muni, bring a flower. I want to give it a gift to Rukmini. And entire Dwarka was smelling this beautiful fragrance of a flower. So see the power of one flower of Parijat. Then Satyabhama became like, how can you give the flower to Rukmini and not to me? And Satyabhama already, like, Krishna is always under control of Satyabhama. So then Satyabhama requested Krishna that I want the entire tree. Krishna said, entire tree what? He said, yeah, one flower is not sufficient. I want the entire tree of Parijat. Then Krishna said, all right. Then Krishna took Satyabhama and they went to heaven on back of Garuda. And they went to heaven, and Indra said, sir, I cannot give it to you. Because it is said, Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami says, Indra also being a handbagged husband doesn't want to give Indra. So um, his wife was like, no, this tree cannot go from heaven. Then Indra being a handbagged husband, then he challenged Krishna. He said, Krishna, I can't help, but I have to fight with you. After defeating, you can take. But right now, I have to fight with you. This tree cannot go from here. Otherwise, how will I survive in heaven? Then they had a fight, and Krishna very easily defeated Indra. He defeated Indra before also by lifting Govardhan. Indra knew, but hand-pegged husband. Um, so then Krishna brought the Parijata tree and gave it to Satyabhama. And then there was a demon whose name was Narakasura. And Narakasura, what he did is, all the kings, major influential kings, Narakasura was very powerful. So Narakasura defeated all the kings. He was so powerful. And he took all of their daughters and he imprisoned them in his jail. Now Narakasura, if he was an ordinary person, how can he has the strength to, these kings are like rulers of different dynasties. They're not ordinary people. And he defeated all of them and abducted all of the daughters. And it is said there were 16,000 daughters. So imagine how powerful was Narakasura and what was the fear of Narakasura. That all of them were defeated and nobody dared to come to fight with Narakasura to get their daughter. And the daughters are all imprisoned and nobody can touch and do anything about it. So they naturally were very much, they loved Krishna, they heard about Krishna, and they were praying to Krishna, and they were hoping that Krishna would save. So while Krishna had planned to go to Hastinapur to meet the Pandavas, and on the way Krishna went first to Narakasura, and Krishna killed Narakasura. And then Krishna made Narakasura's son, whose name was Bhagadatta, and he made Bhagadatta as the king of the dynasty. Narakasura was ruling, very powerful with lot of mystical powers. And all these queens, when they saw Krishna, their heart was filled with joy. They were very eager to um, um, to be a wife of Krishna. They were very eager to offer themselves to Krishna as his wife, and they would keep their eyes down out of shyness and have a sweet smile on their faces, and they would look at Krishna and give those symptoms that Krishna, please accept us. But externally they said that Krishna said, now you all are free to go. And they said, Krishna, we have been touched by a demoniac person or another man, then who will marry us? And Krishna, we cannot think of anybody other than you as our husband. So Krishna, in order to give protection, although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but acting as a Kshatriya king. And the role of a Kshatriya is any woman who surrenders, the king should accept. That's how in that time the kings will have many, many queens. Any woman who would surrender, the king would give protection. So Krishna accepted all of them, and actually they are all eternal associates. 16,000 queens. Our Goswamis describes when Krishna left Vrindavan and came to Mathura, then 16,000 gopis who loved Krishna in Vrindavan, they expanded themselves as 16,000 queens in Dwarka. Chandravali came as Rukmini, and Srimati Radharani came as Satyabhama. Yamuna Devi also came. So in that way, they all were expansions of. Then Lalita and Vishakha also came. All this, they were expansion of the gopis of Vrindavan, because out of separation and they expanded to be with Krishna. So they naturally had that love for Krishna. And when Krishna came to save them, they offered themselves and Krishna accepted them. And then Krishna simultaneously, he expanded himself into 16,000 forms and simultaneously held the hand of all the 16,000 queens. And Krishna married simultaneously all the 60,000 queens. And Krishna gave 10 offspring or 10 sons who were exactly like Krishna to all the 16,000 queens. Naturally, a wife's desire is they want children. So Krishna fulfilled all of their desire by giving 10 sons to all of them. And then Krishna also wanted to glorify his devotees. So this is a little bit back when Krishna was in Mathura. Then at one point of time, Kalyavana, Jarasandha and Salva, they all attacked the city of Mathura from all the three sides. One side was Yamuna, and all the other three sides, they all attacked. Krishna could obviously easily kill all of them. But this time, just for fun, Jarasandhas, just for fun, um, Krishna wanted to glorify his devotees. So Krishna made Muchukunda. Krishna wanted Muchukunda Maharaj to kill Kalevana. And Krishna wanted ultimately Bhima to kill Jarasandha. And in this way, Krishna wanted all of them. Krishna had plans. Kalevana also had a benediction that he will not be killed by any of the Yadus, because Yadus were the most powerful people. And because Krishna also appeared in Yadu dynasty in order to keep the benediction given to Kalevana as truth, so that the benediction don't go false, and also to glorify Maharaj Muchukunda, because he helped the heavenly people, Indra, in fighting against the demons. Muchukunda Maharaj helped them. So Krishna was grateful, and because Krishna is always on the side of demigods, and Krishna wanted to glorify Muchukunda Maharaj. So Krishna made Muchukunda Maharaj kill Kalevana because Krishna didn't want to kill him anyways. And Krishna wanted to glorify Bhima, so he waited later on because Jarasandha has to do a lot more service to Krishna. So Krishna didn't kill Jarasandha that time. But Krishna killed Jarasandha through Bhima after Mahabharata war. When Jarasandha service that he was supposed to render was done. And Krishna wanted to exhibit his Dwarka pastime. So when Krishna comes in earthly planet, in the spiritual world, Dwarka, Mathura, and Vrindavan coexist. Srila Rupa Goswami explains in Nectar of Instruction, above the Devi Dham is Mahesh Dham, the abode of Lord Shiva. Above Mahesh Dham is Vaikuntha Dham, Narayan abode, and above Vaikuntha Dham is Ayodhya Dham, abode of Lord Ram. Above Ayodhya Dham is Dwarka Dham. Above Dwarka Dham is Mathura Dham. Above Mathura Dham is Vrindavan Dham. And above Vrindavan Dham is Govardhan. And higher than Govardhan is Sri Radhakund, the most glorious place in the entire existence. So there is different Krishna in Dwarka. It's called Dwarka Krishna. There is different Krishna in Mathura, Vasudev Krishna. And there is different Krishna in Vrindavan, Nandanandan Krishna. But when Krishna comes in on the earth, then Krishna manifested all the three kinds of pastimes. He manifested Dwarka pastimes, he manifested Mathura pastimes, and he manifested Vrindavan pastimes. Because for all time to come, some will be attracted to Dwarka Leela, some will be attracted to Mathura Leela, some will be attracted to Vrindavan Leela. Our Gauriya Sampradaya, Gaudiya Sampradaya, followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are followers of Vrindavan. We are ambassadors of Vrindavan. But there are others who like Swakya Rasa or Krishna as their husband, like in Dwarka. So they're attracted to those pastimes. So although there are different Leelas in spiritual world, when Krishna comes in the earthly planet, it seems like Krishna went from here to here to here. And Krishna wanted to perform all the three pastimes or all the three places to attract to attract the heart of all the living entities towards him. So Krishna wanted to manifest Dwarka and Dwarka pastime. So Krishna used this as a means. Internal reason was Kalevana's benediction, and Krishna wanted to glorify Maharaj Muchukunda and Jaras and Bhima, who killed Jarasandha. And it was not right time for Jarasandha to be killed or Salva to be killed. So Krishna ran away from the battlefield. And ran away means, in this particular instance, Krishna transferred all the residents of Mathura to Dwarka. And overnight, Krishna instructed Vishwakarma, who is the father of Surya Dev, and he is the heavenly architect, to build Dwarka. And Dwarka was more beautiful than heaven. In heaven, there is the court where Indra is the king, and even more opulent than that was the Sudharma court of Dwarka. So the most beautiful creation was Dwarka. Even the demigods, when they came and they saw Dwarka, it's like way better than Swarganagari. And then all the residents of Mathura all the Yadus were transferred to Dwarka, including Maharaj Ugrasena, and they all were in their own homes. There's a nice ocean view, and it's inside the water, so they see all the fishes and everything going outside. It's like very beautiful location. And this Dwarka also had a secret, like nobody can come to Dwarka. No enemies can attack Dwarka. There was a road that walks from the ground onto the ocean, but that road would manifest only when Krishna desires. Otherwise, nobody can come because in the middle of the ocean. They would come at the periphery and they would see a huge in the middle of the ocean. They have no way to cross it, Dwarka, and they cannot do anything. They have to go back. So Dwarka was like fully protected. So in order to give his fame to his devotees and to manifest his Dwarka pastimes, so everything basically Uddhava is describing how Krishna was wonderful in everything he did. And then many other evil elements like Sambara, Duvida Gorilla, Banasura, Mura, Balvala, Dantavakra, and others were killed by Krishna and his associates. Like Balaramji killed Duvida, Krishna himself killed Dantavakra. Dantavakra was a very powerful demon. He killed Krishna, killed Dantavakra in Mathura. And Dantavakra is the manifestation of Vijay. And Jai was Shishupal. After Ravan and Kumkarna, and then after before that Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, then Ravan and Kumkarna, and then Shishupal and Dantavakra. Jai and Vijay came in this form, and very naturally, very powerful. Then Krishna had a good fight with Dantavakra, and Krishna killed Dantavakra also. And whoever was the major kings who were like threat or their military phalanxes would make the earth tremble, their armies, the strong kings, Krishna arranged for the killing of all of them. And that was the sorrow of Mother Earth. She was burdened by the military phalanxes, and Krishna arranged for everybody to be killed. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkrita. That was the external purpose of Krishna's coming. Vinashaya cha dushkrita. Then at the end of Mahabharat war, Duryodhan had his legs broken because Bhima, he kicked Duryodhan on his thighs, broken thighs. And Uddhava said that the Lord was unhappy. Krishna himself Krishna himself told Bhima to hit Duryodhan on his thighs below the navel, and that is because the upper part of his body was like iron of Duryodhan and no effect and hard like rock because of the blessing of what was his mother's name? Duryodhan's mother's name?
Gandhari Prabhuji.
Gandhari, thank you. So Gandhari looked at Duryodhan. Gandhari told Duryodhan, come naked. And Krishna said, hey, shame on you. You are going like this in front of your mother. So Duryodhan said, yeah, you are right actually, Krishna. I never trust you, but this time you are right. Krishna's bewildering potency. And he covered his lower portion with a langoti. And mother, when she came and because she had taken this tappa, and she became very powerful because of her tappa, to not see because to support her husband or to be equal with her husband. So just the lower portion, the upper portion of the thighs was like human. Everything else was iron rock. So Bhima is not able to defeat Duryodhan, and Duryodhan was also very powerful in Malayuddha, like fighting, boxing kind of fighting. Then Krishna told Duryodhan, hit on the upper portion of the thigh, and with full force Bhima hit there and broke his thighs. But Uddhava said that Krishna was feeling sad, and Prabhupada mentions in the purport two reasons why Krishna was feeling sad. One reason, Krishna himself gave the recommendation, but first it is mentioned that Duryodhan had a good fortune. He was a good man, but he became bereft of his good fortune because of his ill association with Karna, Dusasan, and Shakuni. Shakuni was very evil, envious. And Uddhav says he was bereft of his good fortune because of his ill advice or bad association. And Karna names comes there. Some people consider Karna as very charitable, very good person, but he was not a very good person actually. Because in previous life he was a demon. And he was defeated by Naranarayan Rishi. His name was Sahasra Kavach, and he had one Kavach remaining. So he had 1,000 Kavach. Naranarayan Rishi defeated him and broke his 999 Kavach. When it was time for last Kavach to be broken, then he was taken by Suryadev, and Suryadev gave it to Kunti. And then he came as Karna, the first son of Kunti, because his mentality is from his previous life, a demoniac mentality, who fought against the Lord actually. He had certain qualities, good qualities, like he was very charitable. But even Ravana was charitable, and there were many demoniac people who are very charitable. So it is said that Duryodhan, because of the ill advice of Shakuni, Dusasan, and Karna, bereft of all good fortune. And he was lying down with his thighs broken. Can't get up. You need thighs to get up. And he was in acute pain. So one reason that is mentioned is because Krishna is the father of all living entities. Aham bija pradapita. He is the father of all living entities. So Duryodhan also is part and parcel of Krishna. And Krishna is all merciful. Any demon Krishna killed, Krishna gave them liberation or send him to his own abode. So naturally, that is Krishna's compassion. Another reason is, while Duryodhana was lying, Krishna saw that this is over. And Krishna was little sad because Krishna was thinking that Yadu dynasty still remains. Everybody was killed. Jarasandha was killed before the war only. All the military phalanxes were killed, and Duryodhana is game up. Good, Duryodhana is also leaving. So Krishna was also thinking, now I have to plan of how to take the Yadus away, because Yadus also were two kind of Yadus. Some is the Devatas, and some were the eternal associates of the Lord in Mathura and Dwarka. The eternal associates came like Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati, and Yamuna. Yamuna name in Dwarka is Kalindi. Kalindi, and all of them were the eternal associate. Vasudev, Devaki, Ugrasena. They were eternal associate of Lord Krishna. And Krishna also told all the demigods, when Mother Earth approached by the help of Brahma and other Devatara, you all must come to help me. So they all appeared in the Yadu dynasty, because they know that, because the was purpose was to free Mother Earth. All the Devatas and everybody wanted to help military forces who were like a burden for Mother Earth. So Krishna said, you all can help me. So they all came in Yadu dynasty. So they were very, very powerful, because they were like, they were Devatas. But at the same time, now they are the rulers and everybody has died. And these are Devatas. And none of them who were even existing earlier could defeat Yadus. They were most powerful, and they still remained. And Krishna can kill everybody, but Krishna cannot kill his own family members. And Krishna doesn't want them to remain, these Devatas to remain in Yadu dynasty, because when they come in Yadu dynasty, they don't remember that they are Devatas by the illusory energy of Krishna. Now they are very powerful and they have some material desires also. So it's a threat to Mother Earth. So Krishna wanted to vanish them. So Duryodhana is done, and Krishna was still sad, thinking, how do I get Mother Earth rid of this last dynasty? So Krishna planned, and Krishna decided that they will disappear when I disappear. And I will make all of them disappear by quarreling among themselves because I cannot kill them, but they are my own family members, and nobody has the strength to kill them. So the only way this dynasty will be over is they kill each other. Then Krishna said, yes, that's what I will plan. Then few more minutes, we will speed up, maybe 5-10 minutes we'll finish now. So then Krishna established Maharaj Yudhishthir as the emperor of earth, and Krishna requested Maharaj Yudhishthir to perform Ashwamedha Yagya 3 times to establish the supremacy of Maharaj Yudhishthir. And Krishna also wanted to show how the ideal ruler should be. So Krishna made Maharaj Yudhishthir to rule the entire earth, because all the powerful kings are dead actually, including Jarasandha, Kamsa, and Shishupal. All Dantavakra, all powerful people are killed. And whatever remains, small people, they all surrendered to Maharaj Yudhishthir. So in that, previously, all different dynasties like Bhishmaka, uh, uh, anyways, um, they're very nice names. Just by hearing and reading those names also gives a lot of strength to us, because it's all Krishna's pastimes. Na? So they all have already become, their kings have gone, some other people who are more pious were established. So it was very easy for Maharaj Yudhishthir. And Ashwamedha Yagya means everybody surrenders. Previously, all these powerful kings were individual dynasty rulers. But Krishna made Maharaj Yudhishthir the ruler of the entire earth. Before it was not there. No such things. All individual rulers. Then Uttara was also attacked with the nuclear weapon. And Krishna protected the womb of Mother Uttara by appearing from within the womb and protected Maharaj Parikshit. Then Maharaj Yudhishthira, based on Krishna's advice, ruled the entire earth till Maharaj Parikshit grew up, and then gave the kingdom in the care of Maharaj Parikshit and left to completely remember Krishna. Then the last section is Krishna enjoyed his life in Dwarka, and while enjoying, he was situated in knowledge and detachment. In a very detached way, yet he was enjoying. These are the opulence, two contradictory opulence of Krishna. He was enjoying his life in Dwarka, and then he was always situated in complete detachment and knowledge. And how Krishna would act in Dwarka? Snigdha smita valokena, affectionate glances towards the residents of Dwarka, sweet smiles, affectionate smiles. Krishna would speak nectarian words. Krishna had a flawless character. And Krishna's body was transcendental. Um, um, Krishna's heart was the residence of Lakshmi. And Krishna enjoyed his pastimes with all the yadus, and Krishna also enjoyed conjugal loving relationship with his queens. 16,108 queens. It is said that Krishna loved the queens and served the queens like an henpecked husband. Krishna would deal with the queens like that. And although Krishna acted in this way, Krishna was also completely detached. So, thus being engaged in household life for many years, Krishna exhibited complete detachment simultaneously. And it is said that unless one is a devotee, one cannot understand this transcendental nature of Krishna's pastimes. Krishna's pastimes are not material. It's not like the loving relationship and conjugal relationship in this world. In this world, these pastimes are material by nature, but Krishna's pastimes are not material by nature. And Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yogati tatvatah tattvadeham punarjanma naiti mameti suvarjuna. One who understands that my pastimes are transcendental, spiritual, beyond the modes of material nature. They are not because of mode of passion and ignorance. They are transcendental. One who understands the divyam, Janma and karma, my birth and my activities are transcendental. One who is aware of that does not take birth in this material and come back to me. So it is said that for a common being, Sukadev Goswami protecting people who may not understand Krishna's pastime. Krishna is telling a common being enjoys material happiness based on the devatas, because devatas are the in charge of our senses. So our sense enjoyment is under the control of devatas, but Krishna's enjoyment is not under the control of devatas. It is prema, and only a devotee can understand the transcendental nature of Krishna's pastimes, which is completely a reciprocation of love, and there is no lust there. There is all the queens and all the gopis. They just want to love Krishna and selflessly serve Krishna, nothing for themselves. And Krishna wants to reciprocate simultaneously their love by accepting their love, with zero desire to enjoy, but just to please his devotees. Aham bhakta pranadhina. I am the servant of my devotee. There's a loving relationship or exchange of devotion between the Lord and his devotees, and these pastimes are completely transcendental. And finally, Krishna made the Yadus and the Bhoja dynasty their children, the princes of those dynasties. They met the great sages and they joked with the sages, and that who will be born, a boy or a girl. Samba was dressed like a woman. The sages became very angry, and the sages cursed them that neither a boy nor a girl, but an iron spear will be born, and that will be the death of your entire dynasty. And then everybody was very scared. Then Krishna arranged that those Yadus who were the incarnation of Devatas, again I mentioned before, two kinds of Yadus were there. Those were eternal associates who descended, and those Devatas who came. Who are the dangerous people? The Devatas, because they are not very pure. And they didn't even realize Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And last chapter we saw Uddhava said, it is so painful to see that Krishna is Supreme Lord, but the whole Yadu were thinking that Krishna is just a powerful Devata. They didn't know who this personality is, Swayam Bhagavan, the cause of all causes. They could not understand that. So those Devata portion of Yadus, they were arranged by Krishna to go to Prabhas Ch3, became intoxicated, performed sacrifices, gave charity to the Brahmanas. And in that intoxication, they started blaspheming each other, they started fighting with each other, and they killed each other. And those eternal associates like Vasudev, Devaki, Satyabhama, Rukmini, Kalindi, Uddhava, Ugrasena, and those who were eternal associate of Lord Krishna in Dwarka, they remained back in Dwarka. And the Devata portion, they fought among, because there is no threat from Krishna's eternal associates, because they understand who Krishna is. But others didn't understand. And that's how the Yadu dynasty came to an end, and that's how that's when at Prabhas Ch3, Krishna and Balram also ended their manifest pastimes on the planet Earth. So that's the summary of third chapter. Are there any discussions now? Anybody want to ask anything? All right. So I think we'll end here. Vanchakalpatarubhesha kripa sindhubhe evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.